I'm here with Fiona Bruder, who's Global CEO at George P. Johnson and took on that role last year, but you've obviously been with the business more than 20 years. So could you just talk a little bit more about taking on this Global CEO role and what that involves, and also, I guess, the changes that you've seen, as we were just discussing, that the industry, I mean, you've always been in experiences, but the industry's changed massively.
It has. Well, for me, it's such an exciting time to be in the industry because I think everyone's realized what we've all known, right? That experiential is such a high impact technique to reach audiences, right? And so high value. And it's so integrated now in the marketing mix. And I think that's a big shift for someone who's been around a long time. We used to affectionately say we're the redheaded stepchild, right? Like that we were not integrated in the marketing mix. So for me, I think that's really exciting. The global piece, much of my career, I was running a large account, was global for many years before I moved into the Americas. So I'm really excited to be back in a global role. I think there's a new definition of global for agencies right now, which is not a top-down model. It's really taking those local insights and having that consistency and sort of connecting it. It's not about dots on a map anymore. And I think that's probably the biggest shift I've seen since I was in a global role a few years ago.
And obviously there's quite a lot of consolidation going on in the sector right now. Does that create more challenges or more opportunities, do you think?
I think it creates opportunities. I think, in terms of, for us, we're an independent agency, right? We're part of a independent holding company. So our model is really different than what we're seeing in the industry. And we're spending a lot of time just focusing on what do our clients need for us to deliver. Right now, it's global, innovation, brand consistency, right? And those are the things that we're just going to stay focused on and driving. And I think it's spending a lot of time finding that balance between the tech and innovation and the human aspect of what we do. Like that's probably the biggest thing we're focusing on as an agency right now.
Yeah. I know you've spoken about technology being an enabler rather than the centerpiece. So obviously the industry is racing towards AI and innovation. So how do we make sure that human element doesn't get lost? And you talked about that balance between technology and
that's like my favorite question because we spent a lot of time on that. Our CTIO and I talk about this all the time, and we talk about supercharged humans enabled by tech. Right? You're leading with that, and what's unique about why our industry performs so well is because of this. That human connection, and no technology can replace that. That aside, the technology can enhance it, right? If you're a brand, right, making something intuitive and easy for people to engage with, that's the shift that we want the tech to give us, but it's always going to be, for me, always be powered by people.
There's a lot of innovation happening right now in experiential. Are there any particular sectors or brands that you feel are leading the way and really sort of driving innovation?
Yeah, we work very heavily in the tech space, so obviously that's an easy answer because they're creating AI solutions for their clients. But I would actually say gaming.
Okay.
Right. So again, you think about the surge of gaming around, especially coming out of COVID, we're seeing great innovation and using tech and using broadcast to expand that. But sports also. Right? Look at all the sports amplification that's happening right now and how so many big brands are engaging in sports activations. I think that's an area we're seeing some really innovative work as well. And I think there's a convergence of that.
It definitely seems to be quite an increase in interest, I think, in that sport, in activating around sports.
Absolutely. A lot of big brands are doing Well, think about F1 now. Cricket, who knew?
Yes.
I just said, my team in India is we knew. But cricket is one of the biggest sports in the world, right? F1, all the big brands are tapping into those things. So we saw coming out of COVID, I hate continuing to mention that, but an increase in experiential, in real life experiences, sports, which is a huge one, and entertainment, concerts. Look at how people are going. Again, it's because the emotional connection to music, right? And to the singers and how they're creating very personalized experiences. They talk about some of the best musicians. They create a one-to-one experience in 1 to 10,000. So that's why it's impactful. And that's still the human piece to it, right?
Yeah, I saw some stats around, the growth in events related travel. So so many people now are not going, I'm going to go to New York because I'm going to go to New York. They're going, I'm going to New York because I don't know, Drake's playing in New York.
That's right.
And see, and so it's they're building their trips around cultural events, sporting events, and music events.
Absolutely. I will fly my children for a sporting event to a different area because it might be less expensive than in New York, but great experience, right? So I think those things are converging, which is awesome.
Definitely. And authenticity is a big conversation. What does an authentic brand experience look like?
It's such a great question. for me, it's one that lives up to the brand values, right? Like just in general. I think the other part is a brand experience has to be like intuitive, simple, easy to interact with, right? And I think that's where you see the best experiences, right? Pokemon. Right? So that's one. I have to be honest, didn't know a lot about Pokemon until we started working with them. But that experience is so created for that individual user, and like it is so authentic. They will wait to meet people. They will wait online to engage in different experiences. They'll wait for merchandise, right? Because they're so aligned and passionate about the brand because it shows up consistently regardless of where they are. And I think that people crave that connection to those brands.
What do you think, talent's the topic that's come up a lot today. What do you think are the biggest challenges around attracting and retaining talent?
I think, we spent a lot of time. We actually transitioned from HR to talent and culture. Like we changed the name because we wanted to imply that we have to invest in our talent and build culture. And if you can do those things, like we have one of the lowest attrition rates in the industry. And I think it's because we focus on both those things. I think the thing in terms of retention that's changed, 5 years ago, you could have asked my retention strategy. I could have told you probably in 3 bullets, right? Now it's individualized. What we've heard from people is very dependent on management, right? To making sure they have managers that are clear and help people with their professional development. I think they have to invest in people as individuals. So we've spent a lot of time, we've been asked a lot of our current employees and prospects, like, what is most important to you? And a lot of times it's very simple things. Access to the executive leadership team. That's something we can deliver, right? So I do coffee chats once a week, open forum, 6 to 8 people, small group, and we have really open dialogues. I'm happy to do those things, right? So that's important. Values is still an important one, especially for this younger generation. We invest heavily in sustainability, diversity, equity, inclusion. Like people understanding what our values are as a company and not seeing those deviate has been a really important trigger for us as well. And then career development, but that's an easy one.
Yeah, and on the kind of, I guess, the diversity and inclusion, obviously there's been a lot going on in the US market.
Sure has.
But you're it's an important part and it's remained an important part of who you are as a business.
Absolutely. It was a non-negotiable for me. Actually, I came into the Americas role as president about 6 years ago. And one of the first things myself and my boss talked about was we needed a DI leader. That was someone that was agnostically just focused on that. And we spent a lot of time building out education programs. We launched employee resource groups, which they're organically grown, but company supported. And we have GPJ Women, we have EPIC for empowered people, inclusive cultures for our brown and black communities. And then interesting that they can evolve. During COVID, we had a group called PACT, Parent and Caregivers Together. Because what will people during COVID? Take care of your parents and your children, right? It's evolved now into mind because mindfulness and mental health has become so important. So it's actually evolved. And those have been, and also for neurodivergent cultures, people, like that's part of our mind group as well. So for us, it was investing there. The other one we actually looked at was our recruiting policies. And what we found is we do an internship program called Ignite. And we were getting most of our candidates from 2 schools, all primarily white. We're now getting from 19 different schools all over the country. And we have a 42% diversity rate in that program.
That's great.
So
that was a really intentional.
It was an intentional way to drive real change, but also to bring new thinking, new thoughts, a different perspective. And it's one of the most powerful programs that we've created. And the last one that we did in collaboration with Noel, our DEI lead, is really thinking about mentorship and being very intentional at how we put a mentor and a mentee together to get different perspective as well. So it's just a lot of intentionality for us and the things that we're doing. And we're also very public about it. Like we speak about it, she speaks publicly, and that's a really important thing.
That's great. And it is important, to do it, but to speak about it and to share that.
Yeah, and just know it's not ever going to be perfect. It's a journey. DEI is like there's no end destination. It's an ongoing process. And I think when I learned that from her is when I broadened my view as a leader as well.
And looking ahead, what most excites you about the future of experiential?
Oh, gosh. I think we do have to crack the nut on this balance between human and tech, like we were talking about. I think the measurement piece really excites me because I feel like, if you think about digital, it has long had well-established industry respected and understood metrics. Experiential doesn't have that. I think we have that opportunity to set some new metrics, because with the investment that's going in, we have to show the ROI. So I'm excited for that. That's something we have a very large strategy practice, and my head of strategy told me like 3 years ago we need decision scientists. I didn't even know what he was talking about when we first started having the conversation, but what he was getting at was this evolution and making sure we think about that. I think that's exciting.